Hey Virgo, welcome to your reading. So, during the pre-shuffle, the Eight of Wands came out, so it flew out. Uh, Kind of apparent for the card, or normal for that card. So the other thing that came to mind, well, I got the image specifically of this stream of colors dancing high in the sky. So I'm getting like a distant communication, not a normal kind of communication. So um, maybe you're dreaming of someone at a distance. That's really what I'm getting. And there's another person at a distance or some place you want to be. You're really dreaming about going somewhere. I think it's a person specifically. I also had the star come out and the strength card come out. So strength is obviously is associated with Leo, and the star associated with Aquarius. So two opposite signs. So a kind of another symbol of distance, being apart, separate, but still connected. Because those archetypes are still, you have the individual and then the group essentially. So they're still connected despite their distance. So you might be definitely dreaming about someone in a romantic sense that's far away. Um, so let's get into this here, see what comes out. Oh, okay, your card right away. The star again. All right, so we do have one changing line here, it looks like. I'll get into that a little bit later, but we're starting off with your card here, Virgo the Hermit. So this card is one of wisdom, seclusion, kind of an inner knowing, something that's as unique to you. You're not kind of shouting this on the rooftop. You're keeping this is close. Uh, you're keeping whatever this is to yourself, of course. So it's pretty personal already. So this layout is a lower trigram, so I'm not really surprised by this. So the lower trigram, if you're not aware, is part of the I Ching. So it's the lower half of a hexagram, um, which represents kind of the inner world, the inner perceptions, beliefs of a situation. So we're starting off here with your card. So you're keeping to yourself. You're kind of holding things close to your chest. Uh, Here we have the Patriarch of Terra, the King of Pentacles, and in reverse as well. So he's sitting there. He's not really saying a lot. Um, you're really holding something really close to your chest. You don't want to say something. You're definitely holding something back. I don't think it's a secret just yet, but um, this is definitely though pushed you to make a decision. So kind of looking ahead here, we have the chariot in reverse. So the like it's pushed you to make a decision in that it's really slowed you down. So whatever this is that you really are trying to keep secret, like even I'm not getting what this is. Um you might feel like you're at the mercy of something though. You're held at the mercy of whatever this conundrum is, and this conundrum is definitely testing your inner resolve. So the Chariot as a card in my deck. So here he is riding the moon, or sorry, not riding the moon. It's associated with the moon, but he's riding a Chimera. So the Chimera is in my deck a symbol of all of the parts of ourselves that make us up. The ugly things, the beautiful things, the things that are really different. They're all kind of coming together and refining into who we are. And this man here has obviously he's championed that inner aspect of himself, and it's given him great power and respect, because he can show that in on like he shows it. He doesn't have to prove it to anyone. It's a known fact. So there's something kind of at odds, I think, within you, um, and with the nine of so this is my nine of air, nine of swords in reverse here. Definitely something. I'm feeling definitely a sense of paranoia with the weight of whatever this is. Um, I don't think it might not necessarily affect you. This could have been something that you may have done, just as an aside. That might not be true, but or someone else. There's really a truth I'm getting that is almost destructive. It's a fact. It's kind of what I'm getting when it comes down to it. And the existence of this fact is destructive. So despite it being that of reality, so associated with reality's truth, nothing you can really change or control, it still brings about a sense of destruction. I'm getting like in terms of like that which we can't see, not physical destruction, but could be relationships, something in our environment or our perceptions, or how other people perceive us, or vice versa. Um, because here it's here we have actually this same person too in the final card and the central card here. This is my two of swords. So um, here she's obviously she's unaware of this, but there's the dawn is approaching. Um, the A new day is approaching, and I think whatever this is forcing, whatever change this reality of this fact, whatever this fact is forcing change, whatever change this fact is forcing, can't be stopped. Though it's the old cliche, when one door closes, another one opens. Essentially, is really the reality of what this is. So I think this is mostly uncomfortable for you. Is what I'm getting here. You're uncomfortable with the fact that um, you can't stop this, and I think you see what's coming here for the most part. This fact, I think deep down is true. Um, I think though, as it creeps to the surface, I think you might be struggling with how to go about expressing it. How do I say this? Because this is um, I think you want to say something. You want to change this. You want to heal this. It's there. It's a little bit brings about nervousness, anxieties, maybe a little bit. But you know that it's you know it has to be done. I don't think you're really too afraid. Is what I'm getting deep down, but I think you're afraid of mostly how it'll affect other people. So I don't think it's gonna necessarily affect you individually. Maybe indirectly through your relationships, because I think you're comfortable with whatever this is. You feel for the most part like, well, I'm not going to change anything, but um, like this isn't going to necessarily um, hurt me, but this might affect other people. And I think you have to really display your leadership skills with whatever it is that you're trying to communicate. And I think you have these skills. I think it's just more so the way, like how you communicate it, is kind of what you're thinking about. Um, I'm not getting you're shaky, but that's kind of what's being tested here. This communication. How do I tell them what's kind of going on? You might be letting some people down, or they might be let down by this. It might not be you directly, but other people might not really have expected this, um, which is all the more like upsetting. And you don't really want to be the bearer of bad news. I'm getting, but I don't think you really have a choice. Is kind of how I'm seeing it. Maybe maybe you do, but I don't think you want. I don't think the alternatives are good with this star here. I think you really think this is the best thing for everyone involved, and it very well might be. And I think it's more so convincing other people or communicating it in a way that other people will see that truth, that fact, um, the uncomfortable fact of whatever it might be. Um, because I think because ultimately the last card here we have Eight of Air in reverse, so it's freeing. Whatever this is, it lets the reality and the truth of this situation be as it is. And that's why it's a fact, and that's why communicating it is so important. You're not pulling the wool over anyone's eyes. You're not messing with anyone. You're not pretending um, in any way. Because that's obviously childish, in a bad way. Um, it's not real. It's not genuine. Um, but I think you know that it's important to do. So I'm gonna get your advice card here for this third line, since we have unbalanced yin energy, which means kind of a lack of action. So this advice card is meant to make you consider actions. Like what is a good action here? Because the other lines here, balanced yang and balanced yang, um, are solid energies, but this top line here of all yin is is the changing line for this layout. So let's see here. What is Virgo's advice? What is Virgo's advice? All right, and we have, okay, the king. So this is my patriarch of Aqua, king of cups, essentially. Um, he's in reverse here, so what this is telling me is I think you've been thinking you might be perhaps be misdirected or looking for further perspective internally, what to properly think about. You know, this card is suggesting that there's more information to be had. There's more information to discover, I think, and to consider, uh, specifically with other people and relationships. So this card features a rope. So at the top is rope. He's surrounded by rope. It's supposed to symbolize how we can depend on one another and how we can depend on this king specifically. To be there when we need him, um, and to keep things grounded when the waves of life bring us up and down. That rope is a constant. We can count on that. But in reverse here, it's obviously the opposite. So there's no consideration or anything of that sort. So that's what this is focusing on here. So perhaps explore a little further um, in considerations for other people. And what specifically, I won't say, but that's the general advice. Keep digging, keep looking. I think you're on the right track in general, but spend a bit more time slowing down. Don't make any snap decisions just yet. Just wait a few minutes. You might want to just let it out so that it's over with. Is also kind of what I'm gathering. You might don't be reactive just yet. Use your power responsibly, like you'd expect a leader would. Like we have three kings here, right? So this is very leader esque. Um, so consider the ramifications on your relationships foremost. Um, Try to empathize most of all, because that is the king of cups. He is one of empathy and emotional maturity. Takes the high road emotionally. Um, he isn't affected by other people's emotions necessarily. He's a very stoic card, not very different from the King of Swords. King of Swords is also stoic and logical, but this is more so um, on the same level. You know, like, can you picture yourself with whomever you're thinking, sitting down next to them and just allowing them to talk? Um, just to, like, throwing something out there as like a hypothetical. When you imagine someone being there for you, sometimes it's not words, it's not actions, it's just a presence, a comforting presence that reassures you that things are okay, and that's just as invaluable. People, like, silence is deafening at times, you know. You don't have to console someone with words or actions sometimes. Just being around them is enough to show that you're there. Such a simple thing does more than I think you would expect. You may already know this, but I'm going to pretend like that's not the case. But just being around and there is a lot to show that they're, whoever this is, if they're affected by this, then showing that you're there and supportive uh, is what's needed, I think. So that's the general advice for this reading. So at this point, I'm gonna kind of talk about the trigram or the overall layout at this point. Um, so specifically, this layout is, as I said before, a lower trigram for an overall hexagram reading. So what we have here is yang, yang, and yin. So that is lake, the trigram of lake, and I'll show you what that looks like here. So this is what the trigram looks like. So with the third line, the very top line, uh, being the yin line changing into yang. So top line changing. So what you can do from this point is cast 3 more lines for the upper part. So above the yin line to get an overall hexagram. If you're interested, if this reading speaks to you, then that's a good step. I'd definitely recommend doing that. So that's what it is. Lake into heaven is the trigram it would change into. All right, so now the next part of this video is generated. So I call them divined cards. They're cards generated using specific keywords. So 3 of the 4 keywords, I'll let you know. I'll tell you what 3 of the 4 are. The fourth I won't tell you. It's a secret. So if those 3 don't speak to you, you can try the fourth one, and that one might fit for you. So The keywords are concept, introduction, and diamond. So concept, introduction, and diamond. So this is where you pause the video, choose a card 1 to 4, and then select the timestamp. I will start showing them now. All right, so we have the first card here, concept. Introduction. Diamond. And the last one, the secret word is two. TWO, two. All right, Virgo. So that is your reading. If you'd like to support me, I have a coffee channel, a Ko-Fi channel where you can become a member. Link is in the description. You can download with the membership. You can download all of the Divinity cards that I generate. So if you like any of them, take a look down there. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.